Hey everyone, welcome into another Mosby Building Arts Facebook Live. I'm Todd Bachman. With me today is Mosby Home Consultant and Senior Home Designer Jake Spurgeon. We're actually in Jake's house right now. That's where we're at. We're not at the Mosby office. We don't know. Maybe we'll keep it a secret. No, but we are in Jake's kitchen today because our topic is all about kitchen islands. And since he has an island, I thought, hey, this would be a good place to kind of show people around and maybe give you an example of some things that you can do with a kitchen island. So first, Jake, thanks for letting me into your home today.
I appreciate you coming over.
Well, I wanted to start off with, just a general topic of what are the benefits of a kitchen island.
Some of the great benefits of an island is it really increases flow in a kitchen. Several homeowners might have that traditional peninsula kitchen that you maybe have some seating at, but when you do remove that peninsula and give yourself an island, it increases flow when you're entertaining and just using the space.
Okay, and what about, obviously there's probably an added benefit of storage, right? You can do all sorts of things with a kitchen island as far as storage.
Yeah, you can usually make an island larger than a peninsula, add some more fun features like maybe a microwave or pull-out trash, locate some major elements in the work triangle into the island as well.
And what is, when you say work triangle, what do you mean by that?
It's typically your three major areas, which is your range for cooking,
okay,
your sink for cleanup and prep, and then your refrigerator.
Okay, and I guess the flow is in the
Yep.
shape of a triangle?
It can help you kind of make that triangle more compact and more easy to maneuver and function and use the space.
Excellent. What about design-wise? It can really enhance the design of your whole kitchen, the kitchen island, can it not?
Yes, you get to have a little bit of fun when you have a kitchen island. It's very common to make your perimeter or background cabinetry a little bit more understated, maybe white, keep things a little bit simple, but really live a little with your island. Maybe a different color. I have a blue island, for example.
Blue island, you may not be able to see, but it's a blue island against white perimeter cabinets.
Different countertop color, different textures and finishes, and you can really dress it up to look more formal, like a piece of furniture, and maybe not worry about some of those more expensive upgrades as far as the look of the cabinetry. Just on the island is a little bit more budget friendly than doing it everywhere in the kitchen.
Okay, so right now you have the same countertop as the perimeter, but you can definitely change it up. Is that it's not going to look mismatched or anything like that?
Yeah, when you mix the countertops up, it really gives that a little bit more, giving that island a little more furniture feel, that you've kind of procured the piece or found it out at like an antique store or something, or just it keeps the space interesting and visually pleasing.
Excellent. Okay. What about some other creative ways or added things that you can add into an island to really maximize that full space that you have?
Definitely additional cabinetry for storage. Sometimes on the back side, like my seating area over here, you could add some additional cabinetry for maybe putting some of those appliances like an air fryer or a crock pot or some large casserole dishes you don't use every day, but you still want in the kitchen space. So being able to put those, on the back side of the island in that storage is a great option. And then other elements like additional appliances or storage, like a mixer flip up, even is an option as well.
Excellent. So you have a sink in your island.
I do.
What was the reasoning? Why did you want the sink in there as opposed to around the perimeter?
It really just kind of made, normally a lot of times I prefer to have the island, a clean slate. So it's, you get the opportunity to kind of do whatever you want with it. Maybe it's the craft area, the serving area. But with my kitchen design here, I prefer to have the sink here. So if you're doing dishes or prepping, you can still chat with your guests. You're still kind of looking out into the dining space over here and not kind of in a corner staring at a wall.
Excellent.
Alternative.
Now I've seen people put cooktops in their island as well. Is that a possibility? Like, what is your advice on something like that?
It's pros and cons to having an actual cooking surface in an island. It's great that you can still cook and be a part of the action and not kind of staring at a wall, for example. The downside is if your island has seating, not a big fan of the cooking surface there. If you have little kids, it can sometimes reach over and perhaps burn themselves.
Oh, that's true.
Or if you're cooking something that splatters, another opportunity. And it just really and plus ventilation is always an issue. We always at Mosby recommend good ventilation for cooking areas. Not only is it recommended by code, but it just keeps the air clean in your home. You have to look at downdraft.
Which would be?
Cooktops that have usually that vent in the middle.
Okay.
Only available with electric cooktops or induction.
Okay, can't have gas.
Can't have gas. If you have a gas cooktop, or you say I have to have gas, then we're usually looking at a pop-up vent that comes up behind the cooktop that rises up out of the countertop. A little, kind of increases your budget a little bit to do that. Or you have to have a very large hood, island hood we call it, that comes out of the ceiling. It can obstruct the view and the look of the space. If you have a big enough space to do that, great. Some spaces we don't have that option, so we try to look for alternatives.
So you mentioned the pop-up. So there's a vent that actually rises up in the middle of the island? Is that
yes.
on a switch or something?
Yeah, there's a button you press, it rises up, and another switch to turn it on.
Wow, and it takes the smoke out like that.
Yep.
Is that hard, like as far as installation, of that type of island? Is that hard to do, or is it?
It requires a lot of planning. Definitely not somebody or something that you want to design or look into with maybe somebody that's not as experienced as far as designing around that, because you have to really pay attention to how the cooktop connects with that pop-up vent. Your countertop fabricator has to be involved in making sure that the cutouts are correct for both those elements to, work together. So
Sure.
a lot of moving parts here to make sure it's done correctly.
And then the other option is just a big giant hood.
Yeah, out of the ceiling.
Which could be pretty obtrusive. If you're going for an open concept or to have some flow, having a big hood probably might not be the best option.
It might not, but that's one of the reasons that at Mosby we love our design process, because we create those different options in 3D, in full color, so you can see what that space is going to look like with maybe a sink in the island, maybe the cooktops here and the sink is going to be on the perimeter, and see how that flows and how that works.
Excellent. And you mentioned to me before we started that it was one of the options, while you put the sink in, is you wanted that statement piece of the faucet.
Correct.
That's something you have to think about as well. The faucet's not just for functionality, it's also for a design statement as well that goes along with it.
Your kitchen faucet is the most used water tap in the house. Non-stop, every day, all day long. Think about how many times you're using that kitchen faucet. We have an opportunity here that I wanted a pretty tall, large faucet, and we do a lot of cooking in our kitchen, so we have a larger kind of commercial look faucet here.
And you can also have like some design lighting pieces as well and things like that.
Yeah, you can definitely do pendants from the ceiling to help add some task lighting and help anchor the island. Of course, I don't have those. I have recessed can lighting.
Whatever you choose,
Yeah, it's just there's so many different things that you can do to enhance the island and draw attention to it, or have it blend in. That's another great thing about if you have darker floors. Some individuals are choosing darker cabinetry or perhaps darker countertops, so it kind of visually blends in with the floor as well.
Oh, makes sense. Excellent. Well, thanks for, like I said, let me come in and invade your house and talk and chatting with us about kitchen islands.
Anytime.
So I appreciate it. If you want to learn more about remodeling your kitchen, or if you're considering remodeling your kitchen, we actually have a webinar coming up tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and it's going to be happening at 11:30 a.m. You can still register for that kitchen webinar at our website, mosbybuildingarts.com. Or if you just want to have somebody come out and talk to you about your kitchen, certainly give us a call at 314-909-1800. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Hi, I'm Mark McClanahan. I'm the president of Mosby Building Arts. Thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and click the like button below. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments section and we'll make sure to get an answer to you. For future videos, just go ahead and subscribe. And if you'd like to have a deeper conversation about your home, go ahead and click the link down there in the description area. We'll make sure to contact you. Thanks again for watching this video.